Yeah, we designated spitters live every week. Live, designated homie, cause we spit heat. We designated spitters, Francis and Pete. Yes, talking Yankee baseball, hip hop for the streets. Yup, we designated. Yup, we innovative. Yup, we designated. Spitters time that you know. Yup, we designated. Yup, we innovative. Yup, we designated. Spitters, let's start the show.
Well, Francis, we are here, fam. It is now game 162. The time has come. And I don't know, you know what I mean? It's crazy because it's kind of like the emotional roller coaster we've gone through all year just doesn't want to end. It doesn't stop. It takes you up, it takes you down, it takes you left, it takes you right. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, I don't even know how to feel today. Like, you know, got people messaging me, Pete, you know, if we win today, what happens? I don't think I give a shit. I don't know. I don't know how to feel. I honestly don't know how to feel.
We got very little emotional capital left.
Very little.
And I feel you, bro. Honestly, I think the most important thing, you know, kick this live episode off is you got to win today, right? You got to win today. Some people are saying, well, you know, the Yankees live to see another day, even if they lose today.
Nah, it's not the mindset.
Like game one, first of all, a wild card is already like not what we were supposed to settle for in 2021. Like, I don't know if people realize that. Like, this team was not constructed on paper or built to be a wild card team, right?
Not at all.
We pissed away the division, right? And we're currently watching the team who ran away with our division.
Yep.
Like, here on our home turf, beat the brakes off of us. We can't even get. It's the third game of the series. Like, by now, we should have had a win at least, but we haven't won. We didn't win the first game. We got smoked yesterday. It's like,
hey,
and now people are talking about, well, you know, we could possibly get into game 163. Who the fuck?
Who wants that?
I'm already cursing.
I know we said it. We said it, guys. We said it before we got on it. We said, look, I don't want to curse today.
Yeah,
but I don't think it's possible not to.
Listen,
like, we are just this
Lord, I do not want to be cursing.
Exactly, that's what I'm saying. I just got back from church.
I don't want to be cursing.
Church. But the Yankees,
like, who wants to
and
play in
church,
163?
They don't go well together right now.
They don't.
Those mix of emotions don't work well together right now.
Unless you're going to ask for serious forgiveness.
Yes,
Aaron Boone
should have been in church this morning before this game. To be real with you, because he has a lot he has a lot of forgiving.
That is a fact.
He has a lot of forgiving, and you know, we're gonna jump into yesterday's game. We're gonna jump into today's game. We're gonna do all that. My friend right here already said he's already drunk with Brugal. I don't blame you. I'm pretty sure I've been
how do you watch this stuff sober?
I don't know.
How do you watch this stuff sober?
I don't know.
Like, I've been considering so many different types of libations to get through these games. You have no idea. Like, yesterday I could not, like, I physically couldn't anymore. Like, I was watching it.
Yeah,
we're about to jump into it, but it's like, yeah.
And like we talk a lot. Like, we talk a lot, and I noticed, like, you just stopped. You just stopped chatting at all.
I couldn't. Like, we were talking, because like you said, we like in our chat, guys. Yes, some of you guys don't know this, but like in our NYY News chat, like we're like pretty much live tweeting every game to each other.
Right.
Like, so like every pitch, every hit, every whatever, like we're in our group chat. It's me, Pete, Joe, Felix is very active in there. RB, you know, normally is active in there, and like we're going and we're talking. Yesterday, like, I think the game started, I might have said one thing, like Joe said one thing, whatever, and then it just like, it got like dead silent.
I remember coming out of nowhere and like cursing because I was like fed up. I was like, I'm just fed up. I think after the second 3-run home run from Lowe.
The second one,
The second one flipped me out. And man, I mean, God almighty. Let's jump right into yesterday's ball game. The first thing that just jumps out at me is again, I mean, you still got Aaron Boone apologists out there. I don't know what the hell you guys are doing anymore. I mean, I don't know how you even look at yourself in the mirror and be like, yeah, I'm going to watch the Yankee game today. Like, get away from the Yankees. Don't watch this team. If literally you could sit somewhere and debate with somebody that none of this is Aaron Boone's fault. That he gets none of the, it's the players, Pete. It's this guy, Pete. Bullshit.
Yeah,
Bullshit.
I bet.
We
I
saw
bet.
yesterday. What was like? Honestly, we've said it all year, didn't we? Like, this is the final nail in the coffin. Like, he has to get fired, doesn't he? But it happens over and over and over again. And I'm not gonna jump ahead because I want to talk about the Glaber stuff. But the Montgomery thing, right? The guy gives up the homer to Lowe. He doesn't even come out on the mound to talk to him beforehand. Nobody comes out there to speak to him. And my dad is messaging me saying, well, go to the mound first. Go to the mound. Like, calm this guy down a little bit. Let him relax.
Yeah.
He still lets him go 85 pitches.
Your dad actually has a feel for the game.
Right. 85 pitches. Did you see? Hold on, Francis. Did you see the amazing thing? What Cash did? His young starter didn't have it. They're in the playoffs. What did he do?
He took him out.
Wow. Oh, my God. Wow. That happens?
Yeah. No, imagine already having the division locked up, your trip to the ALDS sold, and you're there, and the reason that you're managing that way is for the sole purpose of sticking it to the Yankees. And was like, yo, this team doesn't even have the balls to like rise to that occasion. Nope. Like the Tampa Bay Rays are here with literally nothing to lose. Like this series means Nathan to them. They already got like what they're gonna get, like home field. All like this series does not mean shit to them.
Right.
They're here with the sole purpose of ruining our season, and the Yankees couldn't even get up for that. Like,
well, if you guys go back to the last podcast, remember what I said. I said they are coming in to sweep. They are not coming in to take it easy. I saw some comments like, "Oh, well, they already got it locked." No, they don't play baseball that way. That's us. Unfortunately, that would be us. We don't do that. Aaron Boone would feel bad trying to eliminate another team. He would feel bad.
Yeah.
Kevin Cash is like, no,
he'd be
get
resting.
This team out.
He'd be resting everybody. If the shoe was on the other foot, and we were in Tampa for the last series of the year, and we already had the division set and everything set, Boone would have Judge out of the game, Stanton out of the game.
Yep.
Rizzo wouldn't be playing. Gallo wouldn't be playing. Glaber wouldn't be playing. Like, I mean, like literally, like we'd have like a whole bench, like half of the team. Like the only reason the whole team wouldn't be benched is because you don't have that many spots on the roster.
Right.
But he would bench as many starters as he could for the whole series.
Because
he'd be like, no, we got to get our guys, keep our guys healthy, give some guys some rest. We thought it was a good spot. We just wanted to find lanes to get our guys some rest. Lanes. Kevin Cash doesn't give a damn about lanes. It's not about lanes.
No, he also don't give a shit about this dumbass bullpen usage chart that they have.
Oh,
the stupidest damn thing in the planet. Michael K. K sees it as like his golden god. I mean, I never seen somebody praise something so much. Well, let's take a look at the bullpen usage. Shove it up your ass, K. Nobody gives a shit. You're old enough. You've been there and done that. Who gives a shit about this thing?
I feel like that's the organization. Like that little bullpen usage chart, that's definitely Cashman and his nerds. That 100% looks like that 100% looks like something that has been concocted by the analytics, crew. And I'm not just saying that the Yankees are the only team using it. I know that every team has a bullpen usage chart.
Right.
And this is not new. But the fact that it's so prevalent in today's game that they're showing it during broadcast is it's not a little bit nothing. It's completely asinine. It's at this stage in the game, when you're the New York Yankees and you have yet to clinch a playoff spot, don't show me that fucking chart.
No, I don't want to see it. And then on top of it, let's look at look who you bringing in. Albert Abreu. Yeah. Everybody's saying, oh, come on, Albert has struggled a lot. We know he struggled a lot recently. What are you going to Albert for?
But think about it.
I thought it was a good move.
Yeah, it's a good. When Albert Abreu is a good move when it's a clean inning. Like look at Albert Abreu's struggles throughout the year. He has really struggled coming in to clean up other people's work. He has really excelled when he's given a clean inning.
Yes, that's right. Also not with men on base.
Yes, and he's also been particularly elite when pitching before the 8th or 9th inning.
Right.
So like 6th inning, 7th inning, if he has to come in as early as the 5th, he's been very good 5, 6, and 7. Hasn't been too good in the 8th or later, and hasn't been good when he comes in with ducks on the pond already. These are things that I know off the top of my head. So I know that Aaron Boone knows them off the top of his head because us fans know it. I mean, yeah. There would be hope that he knows this. And yet the move is still to go to him there, right? I'm not saying like, he's a terrible guy, but I'm just saying Chapman has been better in that spot lately.
Correct.
I would have taken that. I mean, and I would have gotten mad if Chapman blew it, but I also would have been like, well, I knew he was going to Chapman there, right? Green. who's also kind of figuring it out as of late, whatever, would have been better in that spot because he's used to pitching later in games.
Right.
If he would have blown the game, of course, I would have been like, of course, here you go, Green, thank you. But expected in that spot.
Yeah.
You know, when you go to Albert Abreu there, it's like, what the hell are we doing? Like, it's not May 3rd, it's September 20.
Right.
No, it's October.
It's October. The last couple of days. This is it.
It's already
this
October.
Is it.
It's October 1st, 2nd. Like,
and my man is still talking about tomorrow. When they interview him, he's still talking about, well, we got to have a quick memory and get back to it tomorrow. Where are these reporters at that go, Aaron, can I ask you a serious question? You've been saying this since the jump of the season. You do understand what date it is, right? That is in your mind. Mm-hmm. Can you just be honest with us? Brett Gardner gave a better statement than he did. He's a fucking fourth outfielder. He said, we are an embarrassment today. We were an embarrassment. Boone comes out, oh, not a good day, but, we got tomorrow.
Yeah.
And then Gleyber Torres, but before I jump into Gleyber Torres, I want to talk about another dumbass move he made. Why was Michael King mop up, man?
Because Aaron Boone has no feel for what he's doing. This is what I'm talking about, essentially. Like, how is it that Albert Abreu is in at the end of a must-win game in game 1 of the series, and Michael King is getting mop-up innings in game 2 of that same series?
I don't get
Mind you, today we have Tyone starting.
No Michael King.
Who you would need a Michael King
no
in
Lucky,
the tuck.
Right? No Lucky, no Michael King.
It's a joke. Like it's not even a joke because jokes are funny. And this is not funny.
No, this is torture.
It's bad.
This is living in hell is what this is.
How do you not save King? And they knew that Tyone would start because I said it in our group chat on like Thursday or Friday. Like they're like, oh, like they were saying like, oh, would Cole go on Sunday if Sunday's a must win? And I was like, they're gonna pitch Tyone on Sunday. No matter what happens, they're gonna pitch Tyone on Sunday. And we lost both the first games, and sure enough, Tyone is getting the start.
Yep.
Because they don't care. Like the Yankees do not believe in living in the present.
No, not at all.
They like to play this is the only organization that plays their games 2 weeks ahead and loses them.
Yep.
And loses them.
Yep.
Like I think any other organization would have realized by now, like, maybe we need to stop, trying to be so forward thinking and planning, and maybe we should just like play the games that are in front of us. Yeah,
definitely. And I picture Yankee fans in hell right now have a constant watch of Aaron Boone press conferences nonstop on loop. That's got to be what hell is for Yankee fans.
100%.
No doubt about it. It'll be. I mean, it's hell for me right now. And I'm on Earth still. I believe. I'm pretty sure I'm alive. But
in between the Boone pressers, there would be like a commercial break where it's Brian Cashman and Hal Steinbrenner doing postmortems on the seasons. Because if there's anything I hate as much as Aaron Boone pressers throughout the season, it's Brian Cashman and Steinbrenner in the winter talking about how it was still a success.
Right. I know. Oh, that's coming. That's coming. And Anthony, thank you for the super chat, man. Anthony says Boone's post-game report yesterday was pathetic. Gardy said the truth about the team. Why couldn't clueless Boone say the same thing? Because that's just not who he is. That's not who he is, unfortunately. He's not the type of guy that's going to come out and say stuff like that. And switching gears real quickly, this is, again, more Aaron Boone. And Francis, I tell you, I wrote a tweet yesterday. I said, I have never seen a manager that gets me more aggravated by his post-game than his on-the-field moves. And Aaron Boone is that guy. There's been times when I think I've said it on rants where I did not plan on coming on to get mad after the game was over, but I flipped out when I heard his post-game that I had to go and do a rant. Mm-hmm. Yesterday, we once again seen, for the 700th time this year, Gleyber Torres decide that I'm the do-all, end-all. I can hit a ground ball. I could, not even that, strike out. Ball gets away. I don't have to run because I'm Gleyber Torres. Why do I have to run for? What makes me Brett Gardner? I don't have to run. And Aaron Boone says, we spoke to him. He feels bad about it. Can you imagine this now, to have the nerve to say he feels bad? First of all, who gives a shit how he feels? That's one. Truly, who gives a shit how he feels? That's one.
No. He feels bad, Pete.
Who a shit?
He feels bad.
Then let him write a sorry letter to every fan that attended the game.
Hey, oh no, all of this is why people will speak about the Yankees as the most spoiled fan base and all the sports and all this stuff, because we're supposed to accept this bullshit. Again, I'm cursing. I promise, God, they're gonna stop. But I'm telling you, we're like, people think that we're supposed to accept that as a perfect and plausible response. Oh yeah, we spoke to Glaber about that. He feels really bad, terrible about it. He's broken up about it. I mean, he feels so bad he's not gonna start playing his DS for like at least another 60 minutes.
Yeah, exactly. We punished him. We put him in the corner for 10 minutes. No, if you feel so bad about it, he feels so bad he's not playing tomorrow. He feels so bad he's out of the game. You know what I mean? My thing with Boone, too, is Christopher Cologne, man. Thank you also for the super chat. We appreciate it.
Oh, yeah. Shouts to that. I got the chat pulled up, too, so I could thank some of you guys. So,
but also, too, Francis, real quick, how many times can you say a guy feels bad about it? My dude has said this all year. I mean, this is my thing. Like, somebody said, well, Pete, what does it matter for? Because they were so out. That's not the point. That's the weak mindset. That's the mindset of why we are where we are. Some of you cats think it's okay. So you give these guys a pass. Because, it's the same shit with Gary Sanchez that everybody's been talking about for years. I looked at the stat that somebody put out. I think it was my guys at 161, the podcast. Gary Sanchez hitting under 200 since the All-Star break of 2019. He's been terrible. Horrible defensively, too. Terrible. For some reason, we continue to say, well, it's okay because the guy's good or he has potential. Guys, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit what he has? He sucks. Glaber's done this all year, and the manager of the Yankees sits back and goes, he feels bad about it. And everybody goes, that's good enough for me.
Yeah, no, because there's a large part of our fan base who is brainwashed into thinking that this shit is okay. And they're wrong. As much as I like talent and I like potential or whatever, like that doesn't excuse this level of hustle, this level of attention to detail. I don't care. You know what? The fact that you're losing 12-2 is more of a reason to freaking be out there looking like you're giving it your all.
Especially because when you're fighting for a spot.
The score already shows us that you guys didn't give a shit. The least you can do is pretend, like give us the eye wash, like Manny Machado's favorite line. Give us the eye wash and pretend like I'm hustling down the line, even in the 12-2 blowout loss, because I know how much this means.
Yep.
Give us the, the idea. Pretend a little bit. I have to pretend that I like you. Why can't you pretend that you're actually hustling?
Exactly.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but it is what it is, right? We're supposed to...
Our guy, L.I. Yankee King with the super chat, he says, I'm glad I don't have Yes in Ohio because I feel bad for all of you close to NY having to listen to Boone interviews, but what Gleyber Torres did was unacceptable. And L.I. Yankee King, as you know, is a big Gleyber Torres fan.
He's probably the biggest Gleyber Torres fan.
Yeah, we know at least.
That's
and look,
fact.
He's even sitting there saying, yeah, it is unacceptable. I mean, so even
he's
fans
right.
out there, and he's 100% right. He's 100% right.
He's right.
It is unacceptable. It's completely unacceptable. And I mean, the just the response to me, sometimes I even do these videos, like even back in when Boone said he was bullied, and I immediately had to do a video and say he should be fired. And I believe, because guys, look, call me old school, call me what you want. When you're a grown man, you face your problems. If you're coming home telling your wife, hey, at work today I got bullied, I expect her to pack her bags and leave. Because I would expect that should happen. I mean, what kind of a man comes home and says that? So when everybody said, oh, maybe you overreacted. No, I didn't overreact, because you're seeing it to this day, what I was talking about. Aaron Boone is not fit to manage the New York Yankees. He is not fit to manage this team. He does not have the personality this team needs. This team needs, if some of you guys watched my interview with Glendon Rush, he said with the way baseball's going now, he thinks more of these older guys are actually going to be making a comeback. He believes that. Your Bruce Bochy's and so on and so forth. Because we've seen what Tony La Russa did with the White Sox. Guys, the New York Yankees desperately need an old school level manager who will put these guys in their place. That's what they need.
And we can't be behind the 8 ball on this. I think the most important thing here is, I would say the last 10 years, maybe more, the Yankees have been doing a lot of catching up to the changes in baseball, right? When it came to analytics, we were very behind. Very behind. We had guys coming here from other teams. Andrew McCutchen had a famous line, like when he came here, he did that interview with CeCe, and he was shocked at how little the Yankees had.
Cameron Maybin.
Oh, it was Maybin. There you go, Maybin. I think McCutchen was on the same interview and like he corroborated it. But both of it was. But Maybin was the one who said it. Like shocked at the preparation or at what they called they called preparation.
Yeah,
he was like, "Damn, like I'm coming to the Yankees. Like I was expecting something crazy, and it was just like, nah, we chilling." Or whatever, and Cece's laughing and talking about how they got like donuts and shit in the clubhouse, or whatever.
Now they got unicornio bowls and they just pour them and you know stuffed animals and a turtle.
No, it's a joke. They got a gaming like arcade games and shit. I hear it's like a Dave and Buster's in there, but my thing is weird. Like how could the New York Yankees justify being behind all the other organizations for over 10 years at this point
when they're the New York Yankees?
When you're the New York Yankees, like it doesn't make sense. Like yes, money does a lot. Money covers a multitude of shit, but it hasn't been able to cover your lack of preparedness for this long stretch. And so at this point, the Yankees need to get ahead of the pack. And I 100% agreed with what Glendon Rush said. It was a great interview, guys. So if you haven't, taken the time to, check that out, definitely do. But I agree 100%. I see a lot of teams starting to go back. Why? Because what you're noticing around the league is that it became a fad. It became like the in thing to do, which would hire a young guy.
Yep.
Hire a young guy, analytics background, and see, whatever. And you're looking around and it's like, but is it working for everybody though? It hasn't really worked for everybody. Like Gabe Kapler in Philly was supposed to be like this really, really big deal or whatever. And it just fell flat on its face. And people were like, wait, why didn't that work? It was supposed to work. We gave him a decent team. We get like, what was wrong there? Well, what was wrong there was they didn't have enough veterans on that team.
That's right.
They didn't have enough veterans. They didn't have enough old school. So it was a lot of new school, but not enough old school. Why is he finding so much success with the Giants now? Well, I'll tell you, it's because the team itself already has that old school in their DNA.
That's right.
Because it's a bunch of older players. It's a bunch of veterans. So that team doesn't need they don't need an old school manager. If they had an old school manager, it would be too old school at this point.
It may not work.
Which is crazy to think, right? And say this, but at this point, it's like, if Bochy was still there with this team this year, they may not be having the success they're having right now. I think they're having the success that they're having because they have the perfect balance of young and old. Enough of Old Testament. Yeah, it's a perfect mix. Old Testament, New Testament. They got both.
Yep.
They got both. Yep. Now with the Yankees, it's the complete opposite. It's the complete opposite.
All New Testament.
All New Testament. Yep. All New Testament, all new school, all laptops, iPads, and Apple Watches, and wristbands, and Garmins, and Fitbits, and a bunch of nonsense. Right? I mean, there's so much technology in there. They got wires coming out of their ass on the way to the field, but not enough tradition.
Yep.
Not enough tradition. Not enough typical. Brian Hoke put a tweet out probably an hour ago now, right? And he said, before game 162, it's interesting to see the Tampa Bays on the field taking infield drills. I was like, there's nothing interesting about that.
Yeah, it's not.
That's what winners do.
Exactly.
The reason it looks interesting, and this is not a shot to Brian Hoke, just so you understand, I love Brian Hoke, and I know that he knows exactly what we're saying. He said it in veiled language because he has to speak that way. I'm going to tell you what that tweet means. It's not interesting. It's to say maybe if the Yankees did shit like this, the shoe would be on the other foot.
That's right. The shoe
would be on the other foot.
That's right.
But the Yankees apparently they don't start taking infield practice until they make a bunch of errors in consecutive games or weeks. And all of a sudden coming out early for infield practice.
They're just a completely unprepared team. And that is actually going back. God, you can go back and start looking at my videos from 2018 when I was telling everybody take it easy on Boone. But the one thing I always said was the one thing I am concerned about is how unprepared they look. And they have looked every year, even when they won 100 games. The beginning of the year out the gate, they look very unprepared. And even throughout the year, they make horrible. I nicknamed them last year, the year before, 2019, I think, the sloppy Yankees. I came out with the sloppy Yankees. And every time it happens again, I bring that back up. But they've done that time and time again. That's a great point that Hoke brings up because that's right. That's what winners do. They don't take a seat back. The season's not over.
And look at that infield. And look at the amount of errors that they have, and think about the performance that they had yesterday.
Yeah.
Imagine coming off a 12-2 blowout victory in a game that did not even matter for your bottom line in terms of the season.
That's right.
With no errors in the infield, and still coming out the next day and doing your infield practice like you lost that game 5-4.
It's a winner mindset
on an error in the infield.
It's a winner mindset.
But that's how they think, and that's how
great.
And that's how winners think.
That's Kevin Cash.
And the Yankees under Boone have not been anything close to that.
No,
everything
honestly,
is like, if you want to do infield drills, you can. If you want to,
he is the poor man's Dr. Melfi from The Sopranos, the therapist. He is a poor man's Dr. Melfi. I could just see it. I could see they have like a separate room.
He's not even good to look at.
Yeah, exactly. I could see him having like a separate room that he just comes out and goes, Glaber, come on. Glaber walks in. So tell me a little about your mother. And they have a little conversation like about anything. Gary comes in. How was breakfast this morning? Good? Anything else we can do for you?
Yeah.
How the legs feeling? Wonderful?
I had 3 plates of mango and salami. Soy Gary Sanchez de los New York Yankees. Vamos. You can't even get excited on a commercial.
By the way, Gary, get a little floss. There's a little stuck in the front tooth there. I mean, it's unbelievable. But jumping into today's ball game of where we are right now, we got some news to discuss, and I definitely want to talk about this. But first, let me go over the lineups. Gleyber Torres leading off, batting second base. Anthony Rizzo at first base, second. Batting third, Aaron Judge in right field, who's a homer and 3 RBIs away from 40 and 100. Giancarlo Stanton DHing, batting cleanup. Joey Gallo in left field. Gio Urshela at shortstop. Brett Gardner in center field. Gary Sanchez behind the plate. And batting ninth, playing third base, Rugi Odor. For the Rays, Brandon Lowe at second base. Randy Arozarena in right field. Wander Franco at shortstop. Nelly Cruz, the DH. Austin Meadows in left field. G-Man Choi at first base. Mike Zunino is the catcher. Joey Wendell at third base. And Kevin Kiermaier in center field. On the mound, of course, Jameson Taillon, 8-6, 4.40 ERA versus Michael Wacha, 3-5 with a 5.26 ERA. So the Yankees should definitely hit Michael Wacha. Will they is another question. But Francis, we got some news before the game that DJ LeMahieu is going to be on the disabled list.
Yeah.
So, the injured list, excuse me. The Yankees would probably fire me for saying disabled list, but injured list.
Yeah. I mean, here's what I'll say. DJ going to the IL is not ideal. It's not ideal. Is it probably necessary? Has it probably been necessary for a while?
All year.
Probably.
All year.
Knowing that the Yankees, though, does it matter? This is another thing where I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but I don't care. This is another thing where if you have a different manager, shit like this doesn't happen. Joe Torre was very, very, very good at understanding the player, but still being a real manager. And what I mean by that is Jeter said it in his Hall of Fame speech that he played injured a lot.
All the time, yeah.
In case you didn't realize or whatever he did. But was there times that Jeter sat out? Oh, yeah, there were times that Jeter sat out. And you know why that was? It's not because Jeter went and said, yeah, I want to sit out or whatever. No, it's because Torre would literally go like, look, man, yeah, I understand. I know where you're coming from or whatever, but you're not playing today. Like, I made the lineup and you're not in it. I'm sorry.
Right.
Like, you need a day, sit down. And I think with Boone, it's more like, well, do you want to play or do you not want to play? It's like if you
he gives you questions. Yes.
It's like, it's up to you, bro. Just let me know. I'm gonna do the lineup. You know, whenever you text me, I will. I'll do the lineup.
I'll be reading a pop-up book to Gary.
Yeah.
In the back. Yeah. Just come back and get us.
The
catcher who can.
I got story time with Gary, and Me and Glaber are gonna go out to the infield for some drills. Not infield drills though, because he's a starting shortstop for the New York Yankees, so
And
he
he's
doesn't
so
need
great.
that. We're actually gonna play Jacks. Ordered a couple of the bouncy balls off an Amazon. I think he'll really like that. But text me, Giancarlo. Let me know how you're feeling if you want to, go out there today, and I'll let you know. And that's the bullshit. That's the bullshit. That is just
Right.
like, you don't have a real decision maker there. And Torrey was good at that. I think even Girardi had that.
Girardi was a commander.
You can play. You can
Yeah.
play.
Yeah.
You can't play. You're not playing. Like if you're, because you have to understand, you do more harm than good leaving it up to the player. And what I mean by that is, right, there's some players who are going to want to play through literally everything. Like
Yeah, that's
their
right.
arm could be
Judge.
hanging off of them, and they just want to play through everything.
Yeah.
That's not necessarily a good thing always. Sometimes, like, oh, I got soreness, like general soreness. Whenever I hear that shit, I'm like, yeah, you can play through general soreness.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
What is that? Right. Or like last year when Luke Voigt had the foot stuff and he played through that and led the league in home runs.
Yeah.
Clearly, he could play through it, and he did. But then there's situations like with DJ where it's like the guy didn't look right all year.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point in the year, a decision needed to be made where it's like we sit down and we look at DJ and say, hey, we just signed you long-term deal. This is the first year of that deal. All right. We're hoping you're going to be here 5 more years after this. Right. We want there to be some positive seasons in this contract, the same way we know you want to have some positive seasons. Maybe this year, right, is the year where you're going to miss some significant time to really rehab from whatever it is that's ailing you. But we'd rather you miss it now than us keep trying to run you out there and you make it worse into something that ends up having you miss a whole season or something like that, because you're not a spring chicken.
Right. That's right.
But you see, everything I just came out of my mouth would never come out of anyone's mouth.
Never.
And that's why we're in the situation we're in, where in the last game of the year, that's a 100% must-win game. DJ just got put on the IL today.
Yep. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not sure about this, but was the hip hernia the same thing that A-Rod had surgery for?
The hip surgery.
I don't know
A-Rod
if it was a hip hernia.
A-Rod did have a hip thing.
And remember, he was never the same when he came back. That's when his career really went down, because he was never the same after that.
He had a hip thing.
So I was worried if it's the same. I don't know if it's the same thing that DJ has.
I think DJ's a different situation, because they said it was a hip thing, but then it ended up being like a sports hernia.
Sports hernia, okay.
Where with A-Rod, it wasn't a sports hernia. Like he really had to have like surgery, I think, on the hip.
On his hip, yeah.
So,
which affected his mobility a lot, they said.
Mm-hmm.
All right, but
and with A-Rod, one of the things too there was late diagnosis. Like A-Rod was playing hurt
for a while.
For a little while, and this just goes back to the point that I was making. Like maybe if he responds to that earlier, it doesn't derail his career. Not that his career, you know what I mean, but it maybe doesn't put him in the position that it did, because you're 100% right. He wasn't the same after that.
And Francis, you have heard me say a lot this year that this is not a serious team, right? No, don't I say that a lot?
Yeah.
Here's another 100%. Example. We are in game 162. So guys, it's not like we can, sit back. Well, next week maybe we'll do this. That doesn't exist anymore, right? You guys might be watching our last episode during a regular season, during baseball. So we might be not even in the playoffs by the time we do another show. So that's one of the main reasons also why we did this one live, because we knew how much it means. Here's my problem. It's 162. Big game. Huge game for the Yankees. Huge. You can't get a bigger game right now for what it could mean for that season. Who's playing third base?
Odor.
Why?
Well, I honestly can't answer that question. I mean, that was a question that I put in our chat too. I have no idea why we don't have an actual shortstop playing short and put Gio at third. I have no idea why that's not what we're doing.
Can Oswald Peraza not come up?
I mean, Oswald Peraza has been on the roster for like over a month.
I mean, he's been on the 40-man for over a year. Well, why can't Oswald Peraza, who has gone up to AAA, has done extremely well? And I don't want to hear the shit that, oh, Pete, he's not ready to play. Shut up.
Why did they put him on the 26? Why did
you.
they put him on the 26-man roster?
Thank you. And any other organization would do these type of things. Any other serious organization would say DJ LeMayeu's out. We may not have LeMayu for a minute. Let's actually have a correct infield. Now, Gio Urshela has looked solid at shortstop. I give him credit. He's looked very good at short. We already know what he gives at third base. Why in arguably the biggest game of the year do you not have either Squid playing short, or you call up Oswald Peraza and go, hey, kid, you might only be here for a few days, but we need the best from you today at shortstop. This is not a serious organization, and I will fight with anybody who tries to tell me different. We've seen all year long now, years ago, since 2018, I would even say, that this organization has made some like strong left turn somewhere where it's like, hey, you're heading right. Right is good. Right is working. Right is fine. No, I think we're trying to go left this time. Yeah, but that's uncharted territory that we're not good with. Yeah. And it's like, they're just like, don't worry. We'll make something work. And that's the mindset of this team, is that they will literally say now, like you said, well, if they get to the wild card, even if they lose, Francis, you even know they'll find some sort of good to bullshit the fans about.
Yeah, no. It'll be that they lost, but like,
we didn't have Void all
the
year.
Blame, yeah, the blame won't be put on this. Mind you, we didn't have Void all year, but then we got Void, and you never played him again because he made a comment that he should play.
That you guys didn't like.
And he was right, but because he said something that would literally, point the finger at Cashman and his faceless nerds, who are the ones who make the lineup.
Yep.
He got punished for it. Yeah, because that's something that I'm not going to get into that now, because we'll have videos after the season is officially over, and we'll talk about everything. But I can't wait. I can't wait to share my thoughts about that, the way Voit was handled down the stretch, because that obviously wasn't done well. But yeah, they're going to give us a bunch of BS excuses as to why.
You know they will all the time.
They're losing, as to why they're losing the game. But here's the thing: it's like, me as a reporter, my immediate question.
Oh, we don't have those. We don't have real reporters.
No, yeah. Unfortunately, they feel like they're.
And me and Brian Hoke is cool, but I don't think he was supposed to come on. Never heard back from Brian Hoke again, because I think he's seen the way that the flow of the pod is, and I'm not gonna hold back on anybody, because I would have to ask him. And I like Brian Hoke. We talk a lot. Me and Brian Hoke DM a lot, but he has never responded. He agreed to do the pod, and then he was like never coming back with a date to do it. I don't know if he went in searching for the videos and watching, our style, that we're not the fan that just says, hey, welcome, everything is nice in Yankee land. No. Like, I was willing to ask you those questions. Well, when Boone says this, does it ever come into your mind to respond with this? Like anybody would? Are you guys even allowed to do that? So maybe it was a bit too controversial. I don't know. Yeah, no, I'm hoping that we could still get him for like the off season. Of course. Maybe like, not during the active season, he could talk to people like us. Right. But I could definitely see like him going and looking at video and saying, maybe not during the season. I can get into some trouble talking to these guys. But I mean, we got to keep it real. And shouts out to Brian, because I know the position that he's in, but we're in the position that we're in, and we got to keep it real. And keeping it real is like literally asking the question of, why are you even in a wild card game to begin with? Like today they were like, oh, if there's a game 163, will Garrett Cole be starting? And Boone is like, yeah, Garrett Cole will definitely start a game 163 if that's a possible situation or whatever. My immediate question would be like, yeah, Aaron, why is this team even in a situation where they would have to play game 163? I mean, have you looked at your roster? Thank you. Like, does this roster look like a game 163 What has
roster?
went wrong all year that you guys feel you're supposed to be in this position? Yeah. Or that you have to make these decisions right now as the manager? What has gone wrong all year? But they don't do that with Boone. It's for an example, even yesterday. I mean, anybody in their sane mind would say, oh, he feels bad about it. We'll literally say, Aaron, this is not the first time, though. I mean, this has really happened all year long, and that has been your response all the time. What is happening here? Why is this okay? Your team has been allowed to do this, to disrespect you all year long and the fans, and you let them get away with it. It's not a problem for you. It's bullshit. Yeah. It's sickening. Yeah. It's sickening.
Oh, look at that super chat from
Ra.
Mr. Thompson, our guy.
Ra said, I have nothing to add because you and Francis are spot on. Keep speaking the truth. Straight up, no chaser. You got that right.
I appreciate
who
that.
needs a chaser? With this team, you don't need a chaser. You could drink gasoline with this team and not need a chaser.
This team does a lot of things without, the proper things. I mean, the way that they've screwed us fans with no Vaseline is just you can't even I feel honestly like it's just bad. Like this season has been a culmination of so many bad things. And it's like, if the season ended right today or tomorrow, I mean, it can't end today just because it's, the certain situations, but like if the season ended like in a game 163 situation, like, wouldn't that be like, I'm not wishing this to happen, but wouldn't that be the most 2021 Yankee thing that could happen?
Yes.
Like that to me would be exactly how this shit ball of a season is supposed to end.
It would.
Like could they get hot like DJ said a couple weeks ago and like make a run for it? They could. That's why it's been so frustrating, because look at how they played against Boston in Fenway. Look at what they did going up to Toronto and taking 2 out of 3 there. This team is more than capable. This team beat the Astros in the season series. We beat Chicago in the season series.
Yep.
And to be honest, if we would have taken 2 out of 3 from this series with Tampa, I think we would have finished 9-10 against them, which is pretty much middle. Like it would mean that no one really has an edge on the other here. But here we are on the verge of either getting swept by this team or only winning 1 game in the series, when winning 2 games in the series would have sealed your destiny. But of course, we had to bring it to this point. Like we had to bring it to this point where here we are on Sunday starting a guy who's coming off an injury, and his last
also
start,
left the game because of the injury.
Like his last start, he was coming back from an injury, and he got injured again, and now we're gonna start him. So this is injury off now starting, and this is the guy who we're putting our fate. We're putting our fate in his hands, and if he comes out and lays an egg, people are gonna be pissed. But at the end of the day, I'm going to say it from now. Like, if Tyone isn't good today, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see it on the timeline like, oh, here we go. Of course, he lets us down. Of course, but Tyone was never supposed to be in this spot.
Right. That's right.
Tyone was never supposed to be in this spot. So if he lay, I'm not saying, he should just go out there and not give a shit and lay an egg. No. And I know he's not going to do that.
Right.
I know he's not going to do. I know he's going to go out there and he's going to give it his all. But if he gives his all and he comes up short, I don't want to see that nonsense on Twitter. Like, oh, look at Tyone, ruining our season or whatever. No, Tyone didn't ruin shit. Tyone should never have been in the position to have all this pressure on him with today's start.
That's right.
Or whatever. When the pressure, when it's time for a game where your starter is going to be under immense pressure, we signed a guy that we paid $36 million a year to be in those positions.
Yep.
We can't start him today because the team is so screwed that we would need him either in a game 163 or a wild card game. So he can't come anywhere near today's game.
Right.
But if that same person that I'm talking about took care of business in either of his last 2 starts,
would have been fine.
Well, maybe not the Boston one, because we still got the W. But I mean, not the last 2, but look at his last 3-4 starts down the stretch.
Look at all of his big game starts this year. The majority of them
not what you wanted. If Garrett Cole was better in his big starts this year, it changes a lot. And people say, oh, in baseball, one player doesn't make that much of a difference, but a starter makes a lot of a difference. And this is why they get paid the money that they get paid, because Garrett Cole literally could single-handedly have changed this season, because if he wins, not all of them, but say he wins 3 or 4 of those stinkers and clunkers that he put out there this year, because he put out a good amount of clunkers.
There's a lot of them. Somebody did the tweet. Yeah, somebody did the tweet of just the big games alone, and there was a good 7 or 8 of them on there.
Yeah, and that was before the Toronto one.
Yeah.
That tweet was before the Toronto one and before the Boston start,
That's right.
Which he did win, but he gave up the 3-1, whatever. But my point is, there's been at least 8, 9 of them. Some people would hazard that 10 starts weren't good, whatever. I'm saying if he wins 3 or 4 of them things, we would have clinched the first wild card spot, and home field in the wild card a week ago because of those added wins from those Garrett Cole starts. But he struggled, and he went through a lot this season, and I understand it completely. But that doesn't mean that because he did that, we're going to shift the pressure to Jameson Taillon, who this whole year has been coming back and battling back from injuries years prior and now injuries in this season. It's not on him. It's not on just Jameson Taillon this afternoon.
Not at all.
The lineup needs to show the fuck up. The lineup needs to show the fuck up. I give it to JMO the pressure that I will put on him is this. Like, the first 3 innings are so freaking important. It's not even funny.
Yep.
You cannot go down 2 or 3 in the first 3 innings because this team just gives up, and we know it.
Yeah, I give them credit on one thing. That at least they've tried to battle back in some games this year.
The last couple of weeks,
they've actually tried to battle back some, but you definitely need it where this team is able to get a lead. Michael Walker, they should crush. They should no doubt about it be in there against Michael Walker and shut him down. This could
100%.
be one of the games where the Yankees really come out and break out. But before it gets too far away, I want to again say thank you to Anthony Medina, who again does a super chat. We appreciate you so much. He says, "Hey guys, just wanted to say, as much as we are diehard fans, thanks for spitting the facts what Yankees has definitely deserved to hear. The truth and not sugarcoat it." That's what we are here, man. I mean, and that's what we're building this base off of. We're never going to, we're never gonna sugarcoat anything to get attention of anybody or anything like that. We're not gonna change who we are. This is literally what NYY News is. And guys, that's why I'm hyping up January so much. I keep telling you guys and hinting towards it. But when you see probably in end of November, maybe early December, mid-December, what we have coming out for you guys in January, you're gonna be even happier than you are with what we do right now, because what's coming in January is just terrific. Like, we get excited just thinking about it and talking about it as a team. It is really exciting times here, and this is now a base of where true Yankee fans can come and let their feelings free and just not hope that Yankee Twitter is gonna say I'm this or I'm that, or they're not gonna like me no more because I'm talking bad about Gleyber Torres and I'm listening to what that Pete guy says when he says Gleyber is ass, and I'm retweeting it. And at the end of the day, we are an open forum, because exactly what we're doing right now, where we're answering your guys' questions, giving you guys a part of the show, that's what we're always going to do, and more so when January gets around, making you guys really a part of the show. But Francis is spot on. Jameson Taillon, he goes out there, he gets clunked around today and smacked around. I don't want to hear that, he's the reason we've had this team should not be in this position. Simple as that. We shouldn't be in this position.
Should have won the game on Friday.
How many times, guys? Let's go back to the games where Krisky came in, who gave up 4 runs the other day for his new team.
Crisco Sauce
came in the other day, gives up all these runs. They did the same damn thing to when he was with the Yankees. And guess who went to him? Aaron Boone. Aaron Boone also went to Heaney in big games. Aaron Boone went to Sal Romano in big games. This stuff happens far too much. This team should not be in the position they are. I will say this. The Yankees have more talent than the majority of the baseball teams out there. There's no doubt in my mind this team is extremely talented. They got a lot of the right pieces. They do not have proper leadership, and that is the problem for where this team is right now, is that they don't have a leader that kicks them in the ass. They don't have a leader who sets examples. They have a leader who is more similar to Barney than anybody else. He's going to sit around and sing a Kumbaya song when they lose and say, guys, it's okay. Don't worry. Tomorrow morning we're baking cupcakes. And everybody acts like, oh, Pete, you're probably joking, right? When I'm not. I'm not joking. When I say this stuff about Aaron Boone, some of it's out of anger, but it's how I feel about him. I told my dad yesterday, I said, Dad, I don't curse in front of my parents a lot. I said, Dad, this guy is the biggest bitch of a man I have ever seen. And I hate saying it, but it's the way he presents himself. And I'm not saying you got to be up there and be like Luke Voigt and say, look, hey, I'm a big man. Look at me. You don't got to do that. But you should show that you're a leader. Leaders are not weak. Throughout history, you've never had a weak leader. History shows strong leadership lead to either really bad things or really good things, because those people can lead each other and lead people somewhere to what they're saying. but they do it by examples. Aaron Boone has set bad examples all year to let this team off the hook for bullshit. He's done it all year long.
Yeah. I want to get to a couple comments that I saw that are big. Ra made a comment when I was talking about Garrett Cole, and I want to shout that out because, you know, as much as we talk about CC and his tenure with the Yankees, I think something that doesn't get mentioned enough, it does get mentioned, but not enough, is that CC did have a knack for showing up when you needed him.
That's right.
Right? Like CC would get smacked around sometimes, especially later in his career, like when he was losing it. But then like he figured out like how to pitch more and not throw as much. But one thing about CC was he really did seem to show up like when you needed that win. Like he was the stopper for years. Like you could go on a streak where you lose 3-4, and then CC comes up and it's like, yeah, that's done. Today we win. And he just goes out there and puts the team on his back. And it's like with Garrett Cole, it's like when we signed him, like that's what we all thought we were getting. We all thought like, look, we're getting the guy who's at the front end. He's box office. He's got all the stuff. He throws hard as shit. Like he's mentally tough. And when we're really in a bad way and we're losing a lot of games, whenever he comes up, we know the tides are going to turn because of him. Like he's not going to be a guy who keeps us on a losing roll. Like he's going to turn shit around. And, you know, so far Garrett Cole has struggled in that role. And I'm not saying that he always will. I still believe that Garrett Cole is going to be, I still believe that 1, he is elite. And I still believe that 2, he is going to be an amazing Yankee. I think when his time is done in pinstripes, he is going to be one of the greatest Yankee pitchers of all time, because I just feel like his drive and his determination is too much. That's one thing about him that I've never doubted. Like his mentality is a freaking one. And if we had more of that on the team, this team would be different, right? Because there's one thing about Garrett Cole, when he's winning or struggling, that mentality between the ears, like, bro, this guy, he gets it. He gets it.
That's right.
And he understands what it is. And he understands what the fans are going through. Like, he gets it. So when he stinks it up, I completely understand. And I look at him and I'm like, okay, like, yeah, you need to do better. Yeah, I'm gonna hold you accountable, but I'm looking at somebody who I know gets it. Yeah. The other one, Justin King said, the Rays have all 3 levels of their minor league system make their respective championship series, and 2 or 3 won the championship. So he said he thinks that they're the best organization in baseball right now. That's a really good point. Here's the reason I disagree. I won't say that the Rays are the best organization in baseball, because we know that the number one goal here is World Series, and they haven't done that, right? Recently, right? They went to the World Series, but they couldn't seal the deal. This year, even if they make it, they run through the American League and go to the World Series, I think chances are they won't seal the deal because of the strength coming out of the National League. So until they do that, like, I don't think that'll put them over the top. Like right now, in terms of best organizations in baseball, I have the Dodgers at number 1, because no matter how good they are,
they utilize both extremely well. Money,
exactly,
and they should. We've always made this comparison, right? That they should be doing what the Yankees should be exactly what the Dodgers are doing, and do it better than the Dodgers. But the Dodgers do the job of, hey, we got this, but we also got one hell of a system, so we can do whatever the hell we want. We're always gonna have a great team because we can balance it. The Yankees don't do that, and they're also not scared to call guys up, which the Yankees are terrified of doing for some reason, which is extremely odd.
Because the Yankees look at the Yankees, and it's like, look, they put their farm system as a priority, I would say like maybe 10 years ago. And now that it's become what it is, they're like, okay, like we got the farm now, but now they're like afraid to utilize the farm and like do what they're supposed to do with calling these guys up and making trades and things like that. But the Dodgers always had their farm as a priority. And they always have spending money as a priority. And no matter how good the team is, they never hesitate to like improve the team and make the team better using whatever resources they have to. To me, that's going to keep them at the best organization in baseball until the Yankees like start realizing, okay, we did what we were supposed to with our farm. Because regardless of what the crap talkers like Passon and all these other people were saying all year, it's proven now that the Yankees have one of the best farms in baseball. Even with the amount of talent we have in the majors, our farm is one of the best. So we can officially say that the Yankees addressed their problem with their farm system.
Oh, definitely.
We have hitters. We have hitters in the pipeline. We have arms in the pipeline. We have we have international signings. We got like out of the last 10 years, the number one international signing has gone to the Yankees like 6 or 7 times.
Yeah,
like
a lot.
So we've addressed the farm. We are there with the farm. What happened in that time is they like forgot how to spend money properly.
Yep.
So if we can recover that with our farm that we have now, we will be the Yankees again. Because all the Dodgers did was become the Yankees of the West.
Right. And they're also, which the Rays are not. And before we get into that, we also had a super chat by L.I. Yankee King that I want to throw out there so we don't miss it. The reason I love Gleyber Torres is because I feel he can be the best second baseman in franchise history. He has that talent, and it pisses me off that he doesn't run hard. Well, look, talent only gets you so far in life. I mean, there's other intangibles you got to have, and that's the thing that gets everybody mad about Gleyber Torres, that we're expecting some big things from him and big seasons and all this other stuff, and he's been a trash can for a while now. And that's the reason why I said Gleyber is ass, and it's not me shitting on his talent. The talent is there. It's me shitting on something. The work ethic, there's something there that's missing. His bat speed has gone to shit. Even like now while he's hot, his bat speed still doesn't look that good. The homer he hit the other night off Ray was probably the best swing he took all year. And I mean, you expect to see more to that, but then you see a lot of what he does again. You're like, I don't know if this guy's ever going to get it through his head in New York. Maybe New York's not the spot for him. Maybe somewhere else will eventually be that spot where he takes off. But going back to what you were saying, the one thing the Yankees do horribly bad is for some reason they are very gun shy on calling up prospects. And I don't understand that. That to me makes no sense.
Cashman's ego.
It's got to be. It's got to be because
ego.
Look how long. One of the main things we did at NY News, if you notice earlier in the year, is the main focus was, are they calling up Trey Ambergy? Are they calling up Hoy Park? Are they calling up Esteban Florial? All year we were saying this. I mean, I think going back to May probably, when they were really struggling. It had to be all the way back then. And they didn't call nobody up
until really late.
Till extremely late. And then it's like, oh, they're winning with Allen and Florial. Well, yeah, I mean, the other guys weren't producing. Everybody was telling me and you, remember? Well, Florial's hitting 200 in AAA. What was Clint Frazier doing up here?
Nothing.
What are you guys talking about? Like, the guy was doing tremendous in AA, and everybody says that's the biggest jump is from single A to AA, because AA is where all the real prospects are. You could play at that level.
All the talent is at AA.
And you got even a guy like Oswald Peraza now who already dominated AA, put up terrific numbers. Goes to AAA, homers in his first game of AAA, doing well in AAA, and now in the biggest game of the year, you're just saying, shit, the hell with it. Throw Rugi Odor at third base. We know the defense sucks, and we'll get by with him. I don't get it. This is not a serious team. Got to make that shirt. Not a serious team.
Not a serious team. I'm down. I'll send you some designs. No. I think it's really, 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 really important to mention that, Brian Cashman is afraid now that he has constructed and reconstructed this farm. He's afraid of essentially what every team goes through with these prospects. And it's basically, prospects turning into busts and turning into pumpkins here at the major league level. But I mean, what I hazard to tell him, what I want to tell him is that this happens in every organization all throughout sports. This is not something that will be exclusive to the Yankees. Jason Dominguez could come up and be a bust.
Facts.
I'm sorry, like as good as he, potential wise and the stats show and say he will be, if he comes up here and sucks, it wouldn't be the first time. Okay. Like, and this wouldn't be the first time for the Yankees, and it wouldn't be the first time that Major League Baseball saw it. Okay. There's plenty there. You know how many first round draft picks there are working at mobile gas stations right now? Like, this shit happens. Yeah. You can't be afraid to call guys up and have them struggle a little bit, especially knowing that they are going to struggle. They are going to struggle. Like, it's natural. It's the growing pains are part of it. Everybody's not going to be Juan Soto. Everybody's not going to be Acuna. Everybody's not going to be Tatis.
That's right.
Everybody's not going to be Vladdy Jr. It doesn't work like that. If everybody was like that, then what they were doing right now, it wouldn't be so special if everybody did it.
That's right.
The reason it's special is because most kids their age come up and they struggle, and that's okay. It's okay that Luis Gil came up here, was lights out, and then had a little bit of struggles in his last couple of stuff. That's okay. That's what's supposed to happen.
Yep.
Maybe if we didn't send him down when he was so freaking hot, he would have figured it out on the fly.
For Andrew Heaney.
Yeah, but you sent him down and then called him back up like on some, and then of course the struggles up here look bad, but it didn't have to be that way. But again, I think it happened because Cashman is just afraid of these prospects getting torn to shreds here in the majors and not looking or projecting as good as they were before. And you can't have that be a fear.
Or proving that his moves weren't correct or they did not pan out right. That's the other thing he's terrified of doing.
No, it's a fact.
It's
if
like
Peraza
the idea.
Comes up,
that's right.
If Peraza comes up and like shines as shortstop and is freaking amazing or whatever, then then the next question everybody has is like, then how the hell was Gleyber Torres there for so long?
Yeah, exactly.
And he doesn't want to have to answer that.
Look, even when we talked to Eli Fishman, what did Eli say? That most people feel he can hit at the major leagues right now. It's just him finding that position. They want him to go through AAA and all that stuff.
And that was 4 months ago.
Yeah, that was 4 months ago. And since then, in those 4 months, what has he done? He's been absolutely terrific. I've read his numbers off. You guys can go look his numbers up if you think we're wrong. He's been amazing. He's been amazingly good. He's extremely fast, hits for power, hits for average, plays good defense. They always say he has a great feel for the game. His hands are smooth. I mean, it's odd to me that he doesn't even get it. He doesn't get a chance. And that's why I say I can't believe that this club is serious. I just can't. I can't.
No, yeah, you look at somebody in the chat said too. Judge struggled a little bit when he came up in 2016. That's 100% right.
Right. Wander Franco did.
Wander Franco struggled this year. This guy Kelnick on the Mariners came up when he first came up. He got to get sent back down because he was horrible. He looked terrible. We have somebody in the family. His name is Leody Taveras. He was actually here in the Bronx last week. He's family and he's in the Ranger system.
Texas,
he started the year up, in the outfield or whatever, but was struggling. Terrible average. Got sent back down for quite a while. Then just got called back up. Now to close out the year, his average still isn't that good. But what I'm saying is, going up and down, it's a part of the process.
That's right.
It's not, everybody's not going to be, these guys that I mentioned before, or even Aaron Judge. Like I remember in 2017, Aaron Judge has the amazing Rookie of the Year MVP season.
Yep.
By the way, I know he didn't win MVP, but I'm always going to say Rookie of the Year MVP season because he was the MVP. I don't give a shit what the writers said. I couldn't care less.
No doubt about it.
He had amazing numbers, but the one glaring defect was the strikeouts. He struck out crazy, like it was
far too much,
200 or something like that. And people were like, "Oh, this guy's gonna be terrible with the strikeouts. He's gonna be bad or whatever." Look at what he's done since then. The strikeouts have gone down significantly.
Average has gone up
in every season, and the average has gone up. So what does that mean? Well, that means that players do get better. They improve. Yeah, pitchers get better, and pitchers start to know your tendencies. But hitters can also do the same thing if they're invested in bettering their craft. And Judge has done that. Even Stanton, when Stanton's going right, he's not striking out on that slider off the plate away as much as he does when he's going bad.
Yeah.
When he's right, you throw that twice in an at bat and end up, inflating the count to 3-2 because you wanted him to chase and he doesn't chase it.
Yep.
And that's what I'm saying. So it's like you gotta let players work these things out. Cashman can't be afraid of that. And you also gotta be open to embracing the problem of having a couple of people with not enough positions.
Correct.
Because some people say like, well, what are we going to do? Like with, guys like Andujar or guys like Clint Frazier or, Peraza comes up, but we still got DJ and Gleyber and all these guys. If we got all these guys up here and they're all doing well and all producing and we don't have a spot to put them on the field, that is a great problem to have.
That's a great problem.
People.
That's right.
Let me tell you, look at the Dodgers. The Dodgers have a lot of guys who play the same position and fight for position time. And that's why they play so good, because they want to be on the field and they're fighting for time with elite players that want the time as bad as they do. The Dodgers have been doing this, not just this season, they've been doing this for years.
Yeah.
They have guys competing for the same spot. They're platooning in a lot of different areas on the field, and they're a championship caliber team for years now. Look at the Padres. The Padres are not bereft of talent. It's not just Tatis over there, okay? When you look at national coverage, it would make it look like that team is a one-man band. It's not.
It's not at all.
They're a very, very complete team. There's a lot of great players on that freaking Padres team. Guys that you don't hear about enough. Tommy Pham is an amazing player, bro. Like he's really good. He's on that team. He just gets overshadowed by your Tatises.
Well, you talk about another guy who, like even Daniel says on here, Vladdy Jr. even struggled when he first came up. But one of the guys I'll tell you about that nobody ever thinks about. You
had to lose weight.
Yeah, and you look at Toronto and you think of who? Bo Bichette and Vladdy, right? Because they're the guys leading and they're this and that. And the MVP of that club is Vladdy, but the guy behind him might be Teoscar Hernandez, who's having a stupid good year. And nobody talks about Teoscar Hernandez. Nobody talks about him.
Second, and it's back-to-back years that Teoscar's been good.
Teoscar is damn good. Like, you're not talking about a guy that's decent. He is damn good. And you never hear about him.
I drafted him for my fantasy baseball league because guys like that are the guys you want on your team because they're not the focal point that pitchers plan for when they come to your park. And so you eat. With Teoscar, he feasts on pitchers because pitchers come in thinking about Bo Bichette and Vladdy, and they forget that this guy will take you deep 3 times in a game if you're not watching.
Yeah, Teoscar's unbelievable.
He's really good.
And
also, he's a decent defender.
He's a decent defender too. But the thing with the Yankees is, I mean, going back to our club, is that I don't understand why in a game 162, you may have a game 163, in a wild card game and playoffs potentially. You know that LeMahieu's out. We know Voigt's out. Are you really going to play Odor at third base in big games and just give up defense? And also how bad he struggled since he's kind of got out of that we're playing you at least 3 to 4 times a week thing? I mean, it makes no sense to me. Like, I look at that and I'm like, okay, if you're a manager of this team, the first thing I'm asking is let's get, or the night before, hey, Brian, if this, what is the plan? Because I don't think we should be putting Odor at third base daily going forward with these big games. It makes no sense. So let's move. I know we like the idea of Gio as short. He's done good, but we know what he is at third base. We got multiple shortstops that we can call up. Who's the best guy? Let's go over that. Is it Squid? Is it Peraza? Do we give this kid this shot right now? Is it Tyler Wade?
Wade even, like, look, Michael Wacha's pitching today, okay? Michael Wacha is not a world-beating starting pitcher. He's a ground ball guy. Tyler Wade would actually fare halfway decent against Michael Wacha, probably. I'm not saying maybe he would go 0 for 4, but he wouldn't be terribly overmatched in a game against Michael Wacha. And he brings you that sureness at the shortstop position with his glove, and he puts speed back in the lineup,
which means something. But we don't care about that for whatever reason. We don't care about that.
We cared about it for 3 weeks in the middle of the season when we started winning games, and then apparently we won too many games for the team's liking, and they sent everybody down. Right. And Greg Allen got put on a flight to like Haiti somewhere. We haven't seen him.
They sent them away.
Yeah, I don't know.
They sent them away for good. I don't know. I mean, he's been killing the ball in AAA, but that don't matter to this team.
And then people want to tell me, oh, but Allen's like a journeyman, he's whatever. I don't care.
Who gives a poop? Who gives a poop?
Do you see what he did when he was up
for
here?
Real?
Why do we care about the garbage that the media peddles out there? Like, if I listened to everything that the media said or whatever, I wouldn't know shit about this team. Like a lot of you guys on Twitter that I see or whatever, not the people. Thank God that the fans that we got, because I'm reading the comments and stuff, like you guys seem to be in tune with shit,
right?
But there's too many people like on Twitter and elsewhere that you could tell they just listen to everything that the media says.
They believe everything.
That's why half their tweets are about other teams or whatever, because they feel like they got to pander to the other fan bases the way that the media does, and they don't know shit about the team that they quote unquote are fans of. When you're making a statement like, oh, Greg Allen wasn't even that serious. Like, why are you guys? Because he played really freaking well. And the guy did not miss a fastball. The entire time he was up here, he did not miss a fastball.
Well, same thing.
Do you know what that is? He couldn't miss a fastball.
Well, the funniest thing, and just to sum up the type of fan you're talking about, are the people that would give you Florial's AAA numbers, not mentioned in major league numbers, and be like, oh, that's why he got sent down. Oh, he got sent down because he was batting 200 in AAA, not because he was hitting 300 in the major leagues. Yeah. Make that one make sense.
And working and seeing pitches,
tons of pitches.
Because Florial this season, he didn't look overmatched. There wasn't a game where I saw him and was like, yeah, he looked overmatched today or whatever. He had games where like they're not good games. Like he had games where he didn't produce.
Right.
But he didn't have games where he looked overmatched.
Not at all.
And to me, like, he deserved more of a shot.
And depending on who our outfielders were at that time, everybody sees that and goes, why did these guys get sent down again? But like you said, maybe they were winning too much with them. And that apparently isn't part of the agenda. So We
It's
are
the opposite.
approaching. It is the opposite. We are approaching about 15 minutes till game time. Yeah, let's finish up with that. We know who's in the lineup. We know who's pitching. Francis, do we have a game 163 or do the Yankees wrap it up today?
I'm gonna be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. My feeling, my overall mood, just with the way the Yankees played yesterday, is that they find a way to lose this game. But honestly, I don't see how you lose this game. I feel like even if Tyone isn't great, I don't see how they allow Waka to be that freaking great. Like in a game that they need this much, and the offense has been pretty good. I want to say the last 10 days. The offense, they played good enough to sweep in Boston. They played good enough to win the series in Toronto. And they scored runs on Friday later in the game, but they put ducks on the pond and they put pressure on the Rays. Yesterday they were overmatched, but today looks like a good candidate for a bounce back game and performance for this offense. So I'm going to say that the offense wakes it up to the tune of maybe 4 or 5 runs, maybe 6 if they're really aware of the gravity of this game. And I'm going to say, our pitching finds a way to hold the Rays to 2 or 3. And if that happens and our bullpen is managed properly on the final stretch, which it 1000% needs to be, which if that's not clear for people, then I'm going to put it very clear now. Clay Holmes, Jonathan Loaiziga, these are the names, like Wandy Peralta, Clay Holmes, Jonathan Loaiziga. These are the guys that I'm talking about. Yep. Okay. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. Oh, bullpen handled well. Maybe he means Joely. No. I'm telling you who I mean.
The best.
Clay Holmes, Jonathan Loaiziga, Wandy Peralta. These are the guys I want to see. Okay. And if I'm looking at Chad Green or Chapman, it needs to be like a 3. It needs to be like a 3-run lead, at least 2 runs, but preferably 3-run lead. And then if it's a 3-run lead, then maybe you drop one of the 3 guys that I mentioned and plug in your Chapman and your Chad Green or whatever. But again, the bullpen needs to be literally used like the way I just said. Use these guys. And if you got to go to somebody in the middle of the game, we already know who the guys should be. We have, Sevy didn't pitch yesterday.
No.
And he didn't pitch in game 1 either when he probably should have. But
Sevy should be good to go, yep.
So he's somebody who should be, ready to go in this game. So I would say that the Yankees win this game and we don't need to play game 163, but we do need to play. Your camera just went green for a second. Okay.
Yeah, I noticed
that. So I hope my thought is that we win today. We don't play game 163. We do go and play the wild card game. And I am really hoping that wild card game ends up being here because the Nationals take care of business against the Red Sox. So let's see. We will see.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same thing. I think the Yankees get it done today. I just got a feeling. The Yankees are going to get it done today. I don't have a real prediction on how they do it. I don't care about the runs. I just think the Yankees get it done today. Would it shock me if the Yankees get smacked? No. It wouldn't shock me one bit because, again, I'm not going to be fooled by this year. But if it does go to 163, guys, my confidence will be really low because I just don't expect this team to win 2 games in a row. I know they've won streaks and all that. I just don't expect them to do 2 in a row, win a 163, then win a wild card game. I don't expect that. And, call me not confident, but I am not confident. I watched this team all year, so I'm not. I'm not going to be fooled by the mirage that we see every now and then. We'll see.
That's big.
We'll see what happens.
Somebody said Volpe was just named hitter of the year in the minors.
Yeah, I know he was named by another. I don't know if that was from the same organization who did it, but I think it was like the major league one who did it recently. He was named hitter of the year.
Well, they better have because he definitely was the hitter of the year.
Yeah.
And if that's not enough,
he surpassed Dominguez. Dominguez.
Cash God.
Oh God.
Wake it up. Wake it up. Boone has got to go.
Oh yeah.
Boone has got to go. I don't care what happens today. I don't care what happens in a wild card game or
it kind of sucks that
game.
It kind of sucks though, right? That he might get away with the excuse of, oh, we want a different something, or we want a different feel. I want him fired. I mean, people say, oh, well, maybe that's you being an ass. No, he doesn't deserve just to walk away nice and freely.
A different feel. No,
that's what I'm saying. He doesn't deserve it, because you know what I mean. Because he doesn't have to be fired. If the season ends, they could just say we're not bringing him back. No, they should come out and see. Me too.
I want to see a tweet. I want to see coverage on MLB Network. I don't want to see a freaking breaking news on the winter meetings coverage or whenever the hell it is. Aaron Boone fired.
I'll go even further. Aaron Boone signed and then fired.
Terminated.
Because I don't want him just to be like, oh, well, Aaron Boone got to walk away. No. He shouldn't have that choice just to say, okay, well, maybe Aaron, maybe they come out and go, Aaron, we're not going to bring you back. Let's just say that, you felt a need with your surgery, whatever, that you want to go do something else again.
They went their separate
They
ways.
went their separate ways. That's what I don't want. We don't deserve that. We don't deserve that as fans. We don't deserve that. I want the guy fired. I want the nice enjoyment of, honestly, this guy getting fired like he deserves. He should be fired. He screwed this team all year. He's made my blood pressure go through the roof. I made videos screaming at a damn microphone. You know what I mean? I deserve that as a fan, as a real Yankee fan.
He should go to the Mets.
He should go to the moon.
No. He should sign with the Mets. Really should. They should really sign Brian Cashman. Not Brian Cashman. Well, him too, but he ain't going anywhere. So,
by the way, I want to bring this to the Mets.
Aaron Boone.
I saw this
they
the other day.
They should sign Aaron Boone.
They should sign Aaron Boone. They'll have a
he'd
good
be
chemistry
great
over there.
He'd be great in Queens. I think Frankie Lindor and Javi Baez would love him.
Wonderful for him. They love Lindor. Really love him. Speaking of Lindor, Lindor had the nerve to say that Robinson Cano needs to apologize to the team before he comes back. Now, here's my thing, though. I understand Cano took steroids again or whatever he did, and he's suspended.
Time out. Did Francisco Lindor apologize for his hair when he arrived?
Yeah, that's my thing. Did he apologize for also basically saying all you fans are assholes and, go screw yourself? Yeah, he apologized. Who made you the leader? You sucked this year. Oh, we know. Then he also made an arrogant statement like, well, we know Cano could still hit, but he's not getting my position. Maybe he'll be a utility player. Who are you? You haven't done nothing here.
Listen, if Cano was here this year, you might have got benched for him. Like the way that
for real, I guarantee you, Cano would have had a better year than you had last year. He hit 325.
The way that Lindor started this season, like
this dude got balls. He should have been on the Yankees with those type of comments.
A lot of confidence, right?
He should have been on the Yankees with those type of comments. I saw that and I'm reading. I'm saying, is this wrong? Like, what is this? Who made this guy?
I like him. I'm not. Listen, don't get me wrong.
I like Lindor too, but
I'm throwing shit. I like Frankie Lindor.
Where's your mindset that like you're a leader?
I love the confidence.
How are you a leader? Like, what have you done to prove that you're a leader of the Mets? Because you got a contract. You ain't played shit this year.
But that's what I keep telling people. People like swear. Like the other day, like we saw these. There's people out there saying, "Well, Garrett Cole should be the captain, or he is the captain, or whatever." I'm like, we can't equate the biggest contract on the team to the biggest commitment to the team.
Right.
I'm not saying that Garrett Cole is not committed because I just went on a 5-minute praise session about his commitment to the team, but his contract doesn't make him the captain. Frankie Lindor's contract doesn't make him the de facto leader of the Mets. I mean, to me, I still look at Pete Alonso as the guy who's supposed to step up there. I still look at Jeff McNeil or even Conforto, but Conforto's probably leaving. I don't think the contract makes him the de facto leader, and especially with the way he came out to start this year, I think he's still got to prove himself to that fan base. Like if I'm a Mets fan, I'm not satisfied with what Francisco Lindor did this season.
Not at all. Like
that's not by any stretch. And I'm not even, I'm not even 100% satisfied with Uncle Stevie.
Yeah.
He came in and he did whatever, but I'm not even 100% satisfied with that. Like in my mind, like this is a huge off season for them. And if I was a Mets fan, I'd have a long list of things that I need to see, especially before Francisco Lindor starts talking about what other players got to do.
Unbelievable. I kind of saw that. I was kind of like blown back. Then he's like, oh, maybe he'll be a utility man. I'm like, oh, okay. Manager.
Talking about utility, you need to utilize the batting cage
for real
more often.
What the world? Okay.
What are you talking about, bro? Like,
I get it. Like
he's a good player. He's a good
very
player.
good player.
And I don't want anybody to misconstrue it. Like, would I take Francisco Lindor on the Yankees in a heartbeat? I would.
Yeah, of course.
Because of the talent level. But that doesn't give him the right to just start talking and making comments like that.
So anyway, we are at 3:00 here. Game is about to begin. Yeah, guys. I mean, go and enjoy. I hope you guys enjoyed this live episode of the Designated Spittaz. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Francis, can you take us out with the tagline?
Yeah, I already know, guys. Keep it locked. Stay tuned because the next episode is the best episode.
You are damn right. And we will never come whack on a Designated Spittaz track. You guys also
Never
know
that.
too. Never that. Never. So, guys, thank you so much for joining. For Francis and Pete, Team NYY News. Let's go, Yankees. Talk to you guys next time.